The topic of tonight is losing your cool at work, and how you can look at it from the NEWEX approach. I love to share today, and thereafter we are going into the breakout rooms to see, how we deal with it, sharing your own experiences, and perhaps learning some interesting people. So losing your cool at work, meaning basically in one way or another, we are losing the confidence that we are able to kind of handle the situation there. And the emotions that we might feel can differ, of course. It can be that we are expressing an anger, or that we become more silent, or that we talk too much, or we start laughing, or whatever it is that we are doing. And each of us, we know basically, like when we lose our cool, when we are becoming less confident in a situation, what we then do. And it can also, of course, be different kind of behaviors. In the NEWEX approach, it is always about the way as we deal with the situation. Even though it might not be constructive, it is a way how we have learned to cope with the situation. And in the NEWEX, we always say, like, every single trait that we do have has a capacity to work self-protective and need fulfillment. That means when we are losing our cool, we are busy to stay safe or to get certain needs fulfilled that we are at this very moment are feeling, at least in a movie inside of our head, believes that we are needing that need at that moment. And it can also, when it feels safe, move towards constructiveness. That means it has always an always visible, unchangeable essence. When it is, for example, just imagine you feeling kind of angry when you lose your cool, and perhaps you feel, that you have to be, of course, professional, and you probably don't start shouting. Perhaps you do shout. All is possible. But when you are feeling anger, regardless of how you express it, because it is about the feeling that we have, the emotion that comes in, which is essential here, and not so much like how you express it, because our communication, the words we are using, is just 7% of the full communication. So that means when you are suppressing your anger and you try still to be kind to the one you lose your cool about, you are still communicating that you are angry. But what is anger actually? What is the unchangeable, always visible essence here? And that is that you are firmly expressing that what is important to you, firmly. And when you are angry and you lose your cool, important is, of course, here, what is important to you here? And this is a question that you can ask yourself in that situation. So what is actually really important here? And it is never that at hand. It is never that someone perhaps is too late with bringing a report or something like that, or someone did not do a good job, and now you have to solve the problem. That is not the need you have. The need is always one layer deeper. So the need might be that you feel that you have made a promise and that you like to keep your promises. Now a timeline is not going on time out, and now you are feeling that you don't keep your promises. That can be a value. And then you can ask yourself, like, how is it important that you keep your promise? So what is then there? What kind of value is there? Perhaps you feel very responsible. We can always ask ourselves, do I feel generally responsible? Is that something that is important in my life, being responsible? So these are questions we can ask ourselves. So what kind of need is actually here this aspect trying to fulfill, or what kind of from what does it protect you at this very moment? And so these are questions, but important here, and this is how the approach generally is, this aspect that loses cool feels not safe at that very moment. Not safe because need is missing, lacking here, and that needs to be fulfilled, or it has to protect itself. Yeah. So how can we create then a safe environment so that we can get our cool back? Yeah. How can we do that? And there is now an important part here that I would like to share, to really understand the difference between wanting to direct yourself or to feel supported. Yeah. So being with that aspect, being with this aspect that loses the cool. Yeah. When you say like, now you have to be quiet or you have to talk, you need to express yourself. Yeah. So then we want to direct. Yeah. So we push that aspect into a certain direction, which, when you ask yourself, does that increase that the aspect feels more safe? When you are pushed towards the dangerous environment? I think you can answer that question yourself. No, of course not. Is it, and when you choose support, means what is it that this aspect needs right now? Yeah, does it need encouragement? Yeah, does it need that you believe in it? Or does it need space just to say, that's okay, you don't need to talk, just take your time? Does it need perhaps some wisdom? Yeah. So what does it need? And that in order, that is support, that is true support. And when we are supporting ourselves, our inner family, those aspects, in this case, who loses cool, yeah, when we do that, it feels not anymore alone. Yeah. And already when we are taking a part of our attention from the situation and towards our inside, that already makes that aspect doesn't feel alone anymore. And that is basically our biggest fear, that we are alone with what is happening. So the moment that you are separating yourself and you're looking at that aspect inside of yourself, and you are with that aspect inside of yourself instead of becoming it, total identification with it, because when we are totally identify with it, we are totally in the situation, we are getting angry and lose ourselves, or whatever your style is of losing cool at work, or anywhere else. Can also just losing cool with kids, can also be, whatever the situation is. So supporting instead of directing. And that is very important thing that I love you to try out. When you lose your cool, instead of getting lost in the situation and you feel the emotion coming up, just get aware. Hey, I can actually be with that aspect. Partially you're getting out of the situation, so you partially your attention goes inside instead of outside, and then you're saying, okay, what is now actually happening here? What does that aspect need? And when you talk to yourself, then you are not anymore yourself, meaning you are not fully identified with it, which already gives the space, and that aspect doesn't feel alone anymore, And when you can then even support in the way as it needs it, you will very quickly feel, and already when you are connecting with that aspect instead of becoming that aspect, it will already soften. And when you are asking, how can I support you? What do you need right now? And that is just seconds, when you're used to it. And you will get quickly an answer. When you build up a relationship with your inner family. And that is what we are doing in the NEWEX. And that is what we are, like in the program that I'm offering. I mean, it's an interactive book, where we are supporting each other and where we meet once in a week, and where there is really nice input, 10 really very good, very powerful space-giving assumptions that teach us a lot, like how we can become this observing presence for ourselves, how we can become this energy, in which our inner family, our inner team feels safe, and thus work more and more from enrichment instead of self-protection and need fulfillment. Okay, so that's a view on losing your cool from the NEWEX perspective. So let us now go into the breakout room and discuss, how you are, what kind of situations you are in, and how you deal with it, or other approaches that you have, that has worked for you. So feel free to share that. Also, don't forget to shortly introduce yourself in the way as you want it. So you only share what you like. Perhaps shortly, like where you come from. Often that people actually live much closer than expected. And then we are going into sharing our own experiences. See you in the breakout room.